why I get to talk to you guys today. You guys are putting together what sounds to be a very interesting and cool documentary. So everyone watching, a lot of people aren't going to be familiar with it. What can you tell people about what you're doing and let's talk about it.
Well, just to be very clear, we haven't made the movie yet.
Right.
We're actually announcing our crowdfunding Kickstarter campaign, but it's not just a fundraiser, it's also a friendraiser, because we're trying to find as many friends for the loneliest whale in the world, who as of yet hasn't been able to find a friend because he speaks another language, so other whales don't understand him, so he's calling out his whole life without receiving a single response.
Yeah, most whales call out between 15 and 25 hertz, and basically they discovered this whale that calls out at 52 hertz. And, you know, he's friendless. He's the loneliest whale, and he swims through the oceans, calling out, hoping that somebody will answer him, and he's never received
or make a movie about him.
Well, that's what we're here to do. We're here to find him.
What was the genesis of this, though? Because I know there was a researcher who was following him for a long time, and there was press about that. But what was it about this subject matter that really, I mean, because there's a lot of things you could spend your time working on.
Totally.
What was it about this story?
You know, for me, it was all these kind of artists, everyday people who were so inspired to create all these different works of art, whether it be poems, paintings, drawings, short stories, plays, and then I realized it was the desire to connect. And I found all these people all across the world who were so inspired by the story, but they all wanted to reach out and to connect about this story. And that's really what got me into it.
Yeah, and when Josh asked me to be a part of the film and told me the first couple, the log line, essentially, the one-liner, my heart opened and I suddenly wanted to do something. So the minute you have that emotional hook, I think it's a tale worth telling.
Mm-hmm. And we're both very emotional guys, you know.
That's
so
it's no, I'm kidding. You guys are offering, if I'm not mistaken, some pretty interesting perks if people get involved in this thing. One of which I think is dinner with you. Am I wrong?
A whale watching tour with him.
Right.
You get to do a ton of stuff.
Right.
with
So
him.
why don't you sort of, tease what some of the things are?
Well, so yes, there are dinners with filmmakers, also merch, some cool Lonely Whale merch, which is also going to be designed by our users. So we're going out to the community so that they can actually submit designs for the T-shirts and the hats and that sort of
And a
thing.
couple other pretty interesting artists who have designed some stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Shepard Fairey did a
screen print thing coming.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
I mean, there's so many cool. I mean, we have artists around the world who are all excited to contribute, and that's the great thing is we're actually building a community of people who all have their own unique voice and who are all calling out and connecting through this hero character, the Lonely Whale. So there's that. We also have you can learn how to swim like a mermaid, a real mermaid. They exist.
And unicorns.
And I don't know any unicorns, but I do know a mermaid, and her name is Hannah Mermaid.
You do.
And she's going to teach you how to swim with a mermaid tail. What else?
Whale watching. We've got whale watching. We have just like good karma. A lot of it is about good karma. So you just go in, give $5, you get to have a good karma.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately you get to be part of this awesome story. And your money isn't only going to making a movie, it's also going to fund scientific research. We're actually giving scientists the tools that they themselves want, they're asking for, so that they can go out and study ocean noise pollution and hybrid whales, which we know virtually nothing about.
Yeah, basically this is the first time anybody is ever going to acoustically monitor a hybrid whale. And what's crazy about 52 is, you know where he is? Like 100 miles off the coast of LA. I swear to God. We couldn't find him for the longest time, and some scientist calls up and says, he's right off LA.
He's looking for an agent.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to go out there, but the sad thing is he happens to be in one of the most traveled shipping lanes in all of the world. And so a lot of what he's going through, and one of the things that made it so hard to hear him, is ocean noise pollution. Pollution's from commercial traffic, from sonar, and it's doubling every decade. And it's basically driving marine mammals crazy. They can never shut it off.
Yeah, I've seen some programs on this where a lot of what the Navy does with sonar testing is just horrific for animals. It's just, and the problem is that it's a problem that I don't think has an easy solution, because you can't ask people, like, it's very hard to shut certain things off. It's about maybe finding a place where it can be toned down.
You can. You could basically push a lot of the business commercial shipping to have much better propellers, lower sounding propellers, and that'll help a lot. There's a lot of stuff we can do to kind of save these animals, but right now we're eliminating habitats, we're, stopping reproduction, so, it really is something that we need to do. The world's oceans we need to protect. As Adrian likes to say,
what do I like to say?
We know more about the world's oceans than we do about the surface of the moon.
It's true, and if we take pause and we really try and understand what Lonely Whale is trying to say, it's really about the plight of whales and the plight of the oceans and conservation. So whales who are endangered, really need us to really empathize and understand what they're going through so that we can do what we can to help them, because if we can't save whales, we can't save ourselves. And
totally.
They're going to go extinct. We might go extinct. And really, what's more lonely than extinction itself?
One of the things, if I'm not mistaken, you're aiming to go out and film for like 20 days?
20 days in this boat on an expedition, using all these cool like sonar buoys and all these interesting things to go out and kind of tag this whale and then go track him and hear him and let him know he's not alone.
What has been... Did you guys try to go the typical financing route, or was it always crowdsourcing?
We were hoping someone would ask us this
Exactly.
question. Well, like any classic independent filmmaking story, it hasn't been easy, and we actually had our financing through Worldview, but because of some internal indiscretions, they pulled the plug on not only their like $60 million projects, but also their little Lonely Whale projects.
Leaving the Lonely Whale friendless once again.
Yeah, and so luckily, we understand that this is sort of par for the course.
Yeah.
So we are undaunted, and we're going to make this happen. And now we're bringing it to the people, because what we noticed was during the period of negotiations with Worldview and the period when it fell apart, there was so many people online getting excited about the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So the little press that they heard about it, they started coming on board. And we went to 25,000 Instagram friends and
32,000 as of today.
Right, 32,000, and this is
friend
all
counter.
without promotion, without press.
Yeah.
So we said, you know what, the people want this. Let's bring it straight to the people. Let's do a fundraiser. Let's do a friend raiser.
Yeah.
Kickstarter is the future, and this is the kind of community that wants to get engaged, wants to participate, and rally around the Lonely Whale.
I mean, it's the perfect film for that type of crowdfunding engagement, because it's all about connection, so it's one thing, to just crowdfund a film. It's another thing to crowdfund a film in which, that's really part of the message. You know what I'm saying?
What have you learned in previous projects like Teenage Preparato and other things that you can sort of apply to this? Was there anything, do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That's a good question.
Yeah.
For me, truthful. Just, don't be emotional. It's a very emotional story, and, you're kind of like, wow, do I really put myself out there? Put yourself out there. You have to go big or go home.
I mean, this project, like any project I look for, has a focal character, a hero character that we can connect with. It's so important that you don't, the film has a lot of themes, a lot of ideas that we want to tackle and explore. But instead of it just being talking heads and a didactic documentary, we're actually going on an adventure. No one goes on quests anymore. Yeah. And here we are.
Well, we did in the Goonies.
Well, how long
Good
is
film.
it? Yeah, great film.
Goonies!
Right, so like, in the spirit of quests and adventure, we're going out to on the ultimate adventure into the open ocean, and it has like a long allegorical history with humans to go out and seek the unknown and try and understand what we don't. And for me, that's what got me excited about this.
There's no more mystery in the world. You can type anything on Google and get an answer. But
that is not true, sir. I have tried typing in some crazy shit. Never.
Zero results?
And no. Well,
what are you typing in?
I don't want to reveal that in the interview, but let's just say it doesn't answer everything. All mic'd up. You know what I'm saying. I'm joking around. But
No.
What is? How did I just have to ask though? I'm into screen prints. How did you get Shepard involved in this to do something?
Shepard always gets involved in amazing projects. He's a really principled guy who, if he sees something that means something good, I think he gets behind it. So it wasn't too hard. He pitched him the idea, and he was down. He's always lending his support.
A lot of people really connect with the whale, you know, and from all across the spectrums. That's the cool thing about it. You know, it's really inspiring people to go out and to create.
You should plug real quick though the URL and places that people can visit.
Absolutely. This is my favorite part because it's lonelywhale.com, very easy, and there's a friend counter, as I said before, that's tracking all of his friends around the world. So your social media engagement will reflect on the friend counter. We also have a digital billboard takeover that we're doing in Times Square, where the friend counter will be there for people to see. And let's see if we can't get 1 million friends for Lonely Whale. I think that'd be super exciting. So social media, Instagram and Twitter, @Lonely Whale. @Lonely Whale, very, you know.
Imagine this whale
simple.
Imagine this whale that's going out there and going around the world, the oceans, thinking he has no friend. Yet there's all these human beings who are sitting there here like talking about him, and there's like 1 million of us and he doesn't even know.
Yeah, well, and let's not let his voice go in vain. Like let's really try and, you know, honor his voice.
This is going to be maybe, I don't know if this is possible, but I'm curious. He's speaking at like a 52 hertz signal. Mm-hmm. Are you guys even thinking about taking a whale song that and then putting it at that signal to see what would happen? Or is that bad?
It gets sticky,
we'll
you
get
know.
Skrillex to do like a remix, a 52 hertz remix, and we'll be like, yeah.
Dubstep.
No, but I'm being completely serious to see if you could hear it, you know. I'm just wondering.
I don't think our goal is to really, I mean, it's a little unrealistic that we're going to somehow figure out how to communicate with animals, and people have been trying. I mean, I think the communication is...
Sir, you have played Aquaman.
Well,
let us not forget.
Yes, this is true, and
that's why we found him.
Right. Again.
Who do we call on? No, I mean, I think the idea, it's a symbolic quest to try and understand the spirit of what he's trying to say. And really, the onus is on us, you know, to attempt to, you know, decipher and to communicate and to empathize with something that's different. You know, this is about compassion and tolerance for otherness, and trying to really put ourselves in the shoes of ocean mammals and ocean wildlife and understand them.
For both of you, though, and being completely serious, besides making the documentary, tease a little bit about what else you both have coming up and what you're excited to be talking about.
You go first.
Honestly, I've been so focused. I mean,
really
Entourage, you know, we finished the movie. It's fantastic. We're doing pickup dates here and there. We have a big press tour scheduled in the next couple months. And I've had a lot of free time since. And I've been trying to get this guy's movie made. And that's, you know, I think he's onto something. And I'm a friend, and I want to help.
He's the #1 friend of the whale.
Yeah.
#1 fan.
Well, I'm friend one, right?
You are friend. You are the
first. Especially if you're willing to go and take people out for dinner and go on whale watching.
I think it's going to be a fun journey, and whale watching is really cool.
Have you ever been that up close to a whale?
I mean, they're incredible creatures.
And that's
it's
why,
mind-blowing.
But that's the reason why I'm so interested in helping you guys, because I really do love animals, and I really, like, legitimately, and when you see some of the historical film on what people have done to whales and how we've decimated the population, it's horrible. And that's the reason why anything that can be done.
Well, let me ask you, are you following @Lonely Whale on Twitter or Instagram?
I'm going to be honest with you, I don't follow anyone.
Okay, well, really? Maybe he'll be your only one. Be your first one?
Wait, I'm joking around.
But if you go to lonelywhale.com and you friend him, you'll see the number to change.
Exactly.
It's a really cool, nifty trick.
Right, exactly. That's funny. All right, cool. I'm going to wrap up with you guys, but I do have to ask one thing though, real fast. I saw you guys at the Golden Globes filming some stuff. How weird is it to have that cross? And I just want to throw that out there of like fact and fiction meeting, and how weird was it?
I mean, we built that as a concept. I mean, the whole concept is really about blurring the lines and bringing in cameos and filming in the relevant places within Hollywood, and actually going like within a little guerrilla troupe into the heart of every situation. So we filmed at Cannes, we filmed here at Sundance, Golden Globes, boxing matches, Vegas, on location in New York. We've been everywhere that's relevant.
Honestly, can't wait, and I really do wish you guys nothing but the best in getting this off the ground.
Thank you.
Sincerely.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having us.
Look, hold on.
Do it.
This is
Hold on, wait.
Lonely Whale.